Who is Il Dottore? He's called the Doctor because everyone wants his syringe. I mean, what? Il Dottore, codenamed the Doctor, is one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers. What do we currently know about him in-game? During Tartaglia's first story quest, he takes his young brother Ursa to see the Institute of Toy Research, which happens to be one of Dottore's research facilities. We find out from Tartaglia that Dottore loves tinkering with old things, so he converted these old ruins into a ruin guard research lab, but supposedly ended up getting bored and losing interest in the place, thus abandoning it without shutting it down and leaving the ruin guards to roam around freely, which attracted the attention of the Millilith. It is implied also that he is the one who modified Scaramouche. In Chao's recent voice lines, we also find out that Dottore has made multiple clones of himself. He took segments of himself at different ages, and each of them is assigned a different task. But what do we know about his background? Having zero regard for human life, claiming that a human is nothing more than a machine of a certain level of complexity, and his pursuit of creating enhanced humans that could possibly even surpass a god, got him chased out from his hometown with pitchforks and clubs. He later got admitted to the Academia in Sumeru, and despite the risk of being denounced as a heretic and permanently cast from the circle of the wise, he continued preaching his ideas. Even after being called a monster and a madman, he still tried his best not to get expelled, as he needed an environment to conduct his research. But that was until the first of the Fatui, Piero, tracked him down and offered him to join their ranks by promising him resources for his research. Upon joining, Piero suggested the title of Il Dottore to him, the Doctor, which the young madman found so amusing he burst into hysterical laughter. At some point before the main events in the manga, Dottore is said to have single-handedly defeated Ursa the Drake, a draconic creature that plagued Mondstadt for over 1,000 years. In doing so, he indebted Mondstadt to Snezhnaya and started recruiting vulnerable targets, luring them to the Fatui, only to use them as test subjects for his and his subordinates' experiments. Dottore first appears in the manga in a Fatui underground arena, Heresies, where one of his adjutants, Crepus, is putting his test subjects to fight an unknown enemy. After his 139th test subject gets defeated, Dottore mocks Crepus' work and even threatens to use him for his experiments. Desperate to avoid this fate, Crepus convinces him to accept the invitation they receive to attend Mondstadt's Ludicharpastum, an annual festival in Mondstadt, with the intention of collecting more wares during their visit. After failing to negotiate to get people from Mondstadt to join the Fatui's ranks, the Darknight hero attacked Crepus and tried to interrogate him, but just before Crepus could compromise anything related to the Fatui, Il Dottore showed up to silence him. He later collected his body and modified him into a ruin hunter-like monster. It is unknown whether he had something to do with the death of Diluc's father, Crepus. On his 18th birthday, Diluc and his father got attacked by Ursa the Drake after an unknown man placed a metal bug on their carriage, just like the ones the Fatui are using to lure monsters out. Crepus used the delusion to drive the creature away, but the delusion backfired on him and that resulted in his death, and how he got his hands on that delusion is still unknown. The same metal bugs were found all over Mondstadt after the Blackfire incident. Dottore was aware of the incident that was instigated by Collei, which resulted in the death of 2 Fatui diplomats, but he showed no interest in it and left his subordinate Barnabas to deal with it. However, he only ended up disappointed after Barnabas returned severely wounded from his battle with Amber and Collei. But not only that, the guards also let the captured Darknight hero escape. This is currently all of the information available to us about Dottore, but as every other character from the Fatui Harbingers, he too was inspired by the Commedia dell'Arte. Commedia dell'Arte is a type of Italian theater characterized by masked types. There are 4 stock character groups, and the one to which Il Dottore belongs together with Pantalone is Veci, wealthy old man, masters. Il Dottore and Pantalone are the comic foil of each other. Pantalone being the decadent wealthy merchant, and Il Dottore being the decadent erudite. His interaction in the play is usually mostly with Pantalone, either as a friend, mentor, or competitor. So perhaps these two will be closely related in Genshin as well. The Doctor comes from Bologna. Bologna has the oldest university in all of Europe, and for that reason the Doctor embodies the culture. He is very pompous and loves the sound of his voice. He is known to be overly self-loving and greedy. The Doctor in Commedia dell'Arte was considered an evil character. He was educated, he could read, write, had knowledge in Latin and Greek, while most of the population was illiterate, so he took advantage of that. It is also said that the character of Il Dottore was created in order to mock the fake intellectuals of that time. He claims to have knowledge in every field of science, but his knowledge is actually only theoretical and all a facade, which contradicts the character of Il Dottore in Genshin, as he is said to possess a genius-level intellect. And here's a fun fact I found about Il Dottore. Whenever a character seeks medical advice from the Doctor, he either tells them that they are pregnant, regardless of their gender, or that they are going to die from some incurable disease. And this concludes this video about Il Dottore. Hopefully you now have a better understanding of his character. We shall find out more about him in the future. But for now, thank you all for watching, have fun, stay safe, and I will see you all soon.